Hi Pisces, welcome to AshunasTarot. I went ahead and pre-shuffled and laid out the spread. If you're waiting on a private reading, all of those have been uploaded today, okay? So just check your inbox because most of them get sent out at nighttime. So yeah, just keep an eye out for those. If you would like to book a private reading, the information's in the description box below. So yeah, let's go ahead and get started. So Seven of Cups is the general energy. And this is coming in a little bit different this time around. It's coming more as a transition and a shift from, like, let's say a previous energy, some way, somehow shifting and transforming into a new energy. So there's some kind of like transition going on right now. And again, not sure if you're like consciously aware of this or if it's happening beneath the surface. Again, for whoever this reading resonates, there is some kind of shifting, okay, from like point A to point B. Like there is some kind of transition happening right now. And so this card coming up this way, with all this like fog and all this like cloudiness, and just, it feels like there's a lot going on in this card. And you know, there's not like a specific path. It's kind of like he's choosing to see which bowl. And again, it's like his thinking phase, right? It's like he's trying to analyze, he's trying to think his way through this, whatever this is, like whatever decision he ends up going with. It just feels like nothing is really clear, like nothing's really set in stone. Does that make sense? Like all this water, all this fogginess, all this cloudy haziness, it just feels like there's some kind of transition happening right now. Like maybe you're going from one energy to another energy. Maybe you're shifting from one specific thing to another, you know, I don't know, maybe an opportunity comes into your life that, you know, can directly or indirectly shift other areas of your life as well. You know, how a lot of the most simplest things, like little things in our routine or people that we hang around with, like we don't even realize how much of an impact directly or indirectly they can have on our lives. And so what I'm feeling with the Seven of Cups, it feels like there's a lot of energy, there's a lot of movement happening beneath the surface, and it's kind of hard to articulate what it is, right? It's like the old shoe doesn't fit, but there is no new shoe just yet. Does that make sense? It's like you outgrew the last situation and you feel this shift happening, like you feel like the energy is moving, and you feel like there's a lot of like, it's like you're not here nor there. It's like you're kind of like in the midst, in the middle of getting to the other side of whatever this change or shift is for you. But this energy does feel collective. It feels like there's some kind of like continuation or shift from one specific phase to the next one, you know, from one specific energy to the next one. Whether this is an actual opportunity coming in that can either directly or indirectly shift other areas of your life, or just like an energetic shift that happens first before the physical, okay? But this feels like the current energy. And so if you're feeling like some things are not clear, or like some things feel like they're transitioning, or things don't feel super like clear or clean or sharp, like it's just because there's this transitional energy that's happening. And everything is kind of like whatever happened in this shift, or if you have articulated this, or if it's more subconscious or subliminal, whatever it was like this spark, this idea, Page of Wands. It's like an idea came through, or some kind of spark came through, some kind of like passion or a spark that you felt, some kind of interest that you started to lean into, and you've seen how whatever this was in your life was some way, somehow connected to your money, Queen of Pentacles, and also status and things that are material and long term, and just like having a lot of abundance in your life, like in your physical life. You know how a lot of people are spiritually wealthy or spiritually rich. Other people are emotionally wealthy and emotionally rich, you know, King of Cups. But again, when it comes to Queen of Pentacles, we're talking about like physical material stuff. So we're talking about foundations. We're talking about work opportunities, monetizing a specific hobby or project. And so what I see here is there's some kind of shift, okay, in the energy. So if you feel like things are kind of like scattered, or not necessarily like super sharp and clean and clear, as in like step number 1, step number 2, step number 3, if things feel like, again, it feels like a very transitional energy. So whether you're consciously aware that that's what's happening or not, it just feels like the energy is kind of scattered, and there's a lot happening subliminally or subconsciously, or, you know, underneath the surface. It's just like an energetic exchange, and things are shifting and moving around because there is a come up, there is a move up. from the level that you've been in to the next level, and that's happening now. So this is what the energy feels like, right? And so whatever this shift is in your life, like whatever you're shifting into, this feels like the transition of the shift, which Page of Wands feels like the way that the shift was initiated was through some kind of spark or passion that you decided to lean into, that somehow is still, somehow this spark or passion is associated to your status, to your money, and how wealthy or how abundant and how grounded and rooted you feel in the material world. Because Five of Pentacles, in the past, there's been a lot of scarcity that's been experienced with pentacles, with money and material things. So whether the transitions were meant to strip you down to your core, to kind of help you regain everything in a way that is more aligned with who you truly are or who you're trying to become, whatever that was, it required this moment of feeling out in the cold, like this moment of feeling at a loss or scarcity, or like, you know, your survival mode gets activated or triggered. Whatever this was, is like you're coming from this Five of Pentacles into Queen status. And so this is a really major transition, okay? Because what I'm seeing here is, for whoever this reading resonates, okay? Because this is the way that the energies come through and the way the storyline plays out is going to be very specific to where, if this is your reading, you're gonna know it, you know, because you're gonna feel that energy dynamic unfolding in your life. Again, so, you know, if it's not your reading, don't make it fit, or it's not going to resonate with you. But if it is, it's very clear how the cards are explaining the story. So whatever circumstances or situations happening in your past, whether this was transitional, whether you were transitioning from one job, or whether you were called to do something else, like maybe a passion, or you wanted to explore something, a different career path, like whatever that was, it was like transitions were required in the past that also left you in survival mode, okay? That also kind of like triggered your survival mode and like the feelings of lack and scarcity, and like being limited. Like, let's say that you really want to try something, or you want to, you know, go for a specific, to try and build a business, or, you know, try to invest in something, or try to learn a new hobby or a new skill. But let's say that in the past, the thing that would always block you from that new thing or from that new life, or let's say that you wanted to experience, because again, it's not really about the money, it's about the experiences that the money can buy you, right? And so again, Queen of Pentacles talks about this very abundant character that wants to experience the best life has to offer, and also having the means for that, you know, like materially. And so what I'm seeing here is, in the past, for whatever reason, whether it was a part of your spiritual journey, whether it was a part of your initiation, certain shifts had to happen that, again, triggered this Five of Pentacles energy, this energy of lack, loss, scarcity, like your survival mode getting activated and triggered, and maybe for some of you experiencing very harsh conditions when it comes to money, right? And so this is past energy. So again, Five of Pentacles is the energy that you're shifting out of. And again, this Seven of Cups, I feel like it's something more to do with like where you're currently at right now and the next level that you're getting ready to move into. Like, this shift is happening right now. This is why the energy is so like foggy or hazy or cloudy, and it feels like there's a lot happening energetically beneath the surface. And so it's not like you can say black or white, or like, you know, step 1, 2, 3, you know, because it's not necessarily concrete just yet. Like, as we speak, things are shifting energetically, you know, as we speak. And that's why the Seven of Cups is the underlying energy for the reading. But whatever the shift is, it was triggered by a spark, right? A spark in passions, a spark in interest, okay? That is connected also to your material, to your abundance and your status, right? And through this process, it's just like, there is this need to like pace yourself, okay? And balance yourself, and like kind of like temper yourself, you know, like from hot to cold, because the Temperance is this card of mastery, okay? It's like reaching this level of mastery to where sometimes when the fire is burning so brightly within us, it's like we want to take on the world and we want to take so much action and we want to act from that place. Again, Page of Wands, very beautiful, youthful, fiery spirit, but how well does it translate into the Pentacles, okay? Because Pentacles, again, talks about stability long term. Slow and steady wins the race. Pentacles are slow, fire is fast, right? And so there's this alchemy happening right in between of the Temperance, right? The fire and the earth, like the fire in the Pentacles. The fast is the fire, right? How intensely a passion and an interest can burn within us, right? And then the Pentacles is just like that daily mundane, like consistency of day in, day out, the material things that we have to do in the 3D to attain those desires. And that's the perfect alchemy for manifestation. And so what I'm seeing here right now is if you feel like this underlying energy is like a lot of shifting energetically and you can feel the shift happening, it's like you might not be able to articulate exactly what it is just yet. For some of you, yes. But for others of you, it's just like you feel the shift. You don't necessarily know exactly what it's going to be, but you feel it happening already. Like you feel it yourself growing out of those old shoes or out of that old clothes, or, you know, it's like you're shedding your skin and you feel the shift happening. You might not be able to put a finger on it just yet, but it's like you feel things are shifting and moving around in your reality to create more space, to create more of that expansion that you have already been feeling. It's like you've already been feeling it, but now it's a time to see it. Like you want to see what comes from it materially. And so again, this is beautiful, okay? Because the way that it's unfolding is you're coming from scarcity, from the 5 of Pentacles straight into Queen status, Queen of Pentacles, because of whatever interest or spark you followed with the Page of Wands, okay? And so the biggest test for you here with like all of this is the Temperance, okay? Pace yourself, because sometimes you're going to feel the fire burn so brightly and you're going to want to make those calls and make those moves and just, you know, put it all in action. And other times you're going to notice that it's going to be like the consistency of that. You're not always going to feel that fire burning so brightly. You're not always going to feel that motivation, but that's truly when the Pentacles can really step in to teach you with that earth energy, how a grounded, consistent, like mundane, simple, okay, not necessarily easy, but simple day to day can really help you, you know, with your passion and also the earthly creations, right? Because it's so beautiful to feel the manifestation. Like we can feel our vortex. Sometimes we built a whole freaking castle and we get so frustrated because it's not necessarily translating from the energetic into the material. And so the Temperance here is so beautiful because it shows the energetic and it shows the material. Okay, it shows you coming into Queen status, all right, from 5 of Pentacles. So if you've had it rough, you know, in terms of abundance, in terms of material, in terms of money, opportunities, or resources in the past, you're going from 5 of Pentacles straight into Queen status, Queen of Pentacles, okay, because of whatever spark or interest or passion you followed, like you lean towards this spark, you lean towards this passion project or whatever this was, and now it's like you have the formula, you have it right, okay? Like you were supposed to take action on that passion. But again, to reach the Queen status, you're really gonna just have to temper yourself, okay? From hot to cold, right? From feeling the fire and wanting to take so much fiery action to the day-to-day, you know, allowing yourself to receive, allowing yourself to be in the day, in the moment. That's gonna be like your key formula to the success. Because again, you have really good cards. You have the Queen and a King in this reading. And so again, whatever this manifestation was, whatever you set out for, it's in the works and it's coming a lot sooner. And again, I don't want to be that tarot reader that's like promising the moon and the stars, but what I'm seeing here and what I can tell you is that you're currently in this energy of shifting. You're currently in this energy of like literally like the shoes you were wearing no longer fit you. Like you've grown out of them. And so you're getting ready for the new pair. Like you're getting ready. And again, some of you are feeling this energetically. Some of you are feeling this emotionally because we have the water, the 7 of Cups, the King of Cups. And for others of you, you can feel things are changing. You can feel things are shifting. You might not be able to put a finger on it just yet, but you could feel it, okay? Like within your being, like within, it's like you're shedding a skin, right? Like you're preparing to shed the skin. You're preparing to kind of like, you know, like shift into the Queen status. It's like, you know, for a lot of you, being in this 5 of Pentacles has limited you. It's like, you know, you have everything that it takes to go after this new thing and like to really live it out, because in the past you've been Pisces, like again, and this is so much more like specific to you. Like for a lot of Pisces, if you really want something and you go after it and you use like everything, like all the tools to your advantage, like your manifestation, like your visions, like even being delusional at times when it comes to like your business, when it comes to money, when it comes to manifesting, is truly what will make it happen. Again, some of the greatest minds are Piscean, okay? And I don't even want to get into names, but that is a very beautiful quality, Pisces, because again, you're not so attached to this world that it's easy for you to go into those ethereal spiritual realms and work on your vortex, work on your creations. And so sometimes this is where Temperance comes in. Okay, because again, for a lot of you, what I'm getting is you've been putting a lot of work in the spiritual, energetic, like immaterial realms, like where everything exists right before it manifests. Okay, and so you've been hanging out around in your vortex and building your creations and your manifestations, and you can feel this energy of shift. You can feel this energy of change. You're trying to temper the whole process, right? From wanting to run so fast to trying to pace yourself through this marathon, and you're like on a brink of a major like breakthrough, like not only just a breakthrough, but like seeing the fruits of your labor. And so what I'm seeing here is, again, temperance is going to be your biggest like challenge and like the biggest thing that you could really work on, because you're feeling the fire and at the same time you're having to work with the tangible material things of how long everything takes in the earthly realm and how heavy sometimes the energy is to move through, right? The pentacles being earth is slow, fire is very intense and fast. And so again, I just see this beautiful balancing process within you and your creations. Whatever this is that you set out to manifest, you're so much closer than you've ever been, and that's why this energy is kind of like all over the place, because you're shifting at this time. Again, you're going from the 5 of Pentacles to Queen of Pentacles, Queen status, right? And so whatever back and forth you had in your energy, again, another Pentacles card, that's all coming to an end, because as you go from the 2 of Pentacles to the 5 of Pentacles to the Queen of Pentacles, you're going to see how all your work and everything that you've been doing energetically, spiritually, is going to start to come through. And not just in a sense of like you're seeing synchronicities and things are starting to align, things are starting to make sense, but no, like you're going to be able to hold it in your hand. And that's the most beautiful part about the Queen of Pentacles, okay? That her manifestation's in her hand, okay? Like she's holding the pentacle. Whatever that abundance, whatever that is for you, again, she represents status, she represents abundance, she represents prosperity in the material realms, and also in an earthly manner, to where commitment, long-term relationships, foundation, stability, like all of that translates to her energy. And so some way, somehow, like whatever you set out to manifest was connected to some kind of interest and passion that, again, is leading you to your Queen status, Queen of Pentacles, going from the 2 of Pentacles to the 5 of Pentacles. So that this talks about scarcity, to then Queen status, the Queen of Pentacles being a lot of abundance coming in, and also reclaiming your throne. If you ever felt like you were a little bit off balance or just kind of like destabilized in your energy through this process, it's just like you're coming back on your throne, you're coming back into your own element. And it's hard to say your own element because you're water, but this earth is coming in very, very strongly for you. So again, I'm not sure if you might have earth placements in your chart or whoever I'm picking up on, but for some of you, it's just like this energy. Again, you are Pisces, so you have all 12 signs. So you have a lot of the earth qualities that you can embody and call upon. But it's feeling like something very tangible, very, very good for you, because it's going to ground you. And again, if you are that Pisces that's been doing a lot of the energetic, spiritual, emotional work, and you feel like you've built a whole freaking castle in your vortex, and you're not necessarily seeing that translate into the money, into the material realms, this is that moment for you, okay? Because again, 7 of Cups, there's a lot of shifting, a lot of like shuffling, a lot of moving things around, but it's because you're shifting right into the next level, okay? Which is, again, this Queen of Pentacles. So again, the suggestion and the advice here is the temperance, because you're doing everything right as far as like leaning into the passion, leaning into the interest, and embodying that energy of fire to fuel your projects, but really establishing the discipline of the earth, because the earth is slow, the earth is consistent, to bring about your manifestations. And again, this process is making you emotionally mature. Okay, so not just emotionally intelligent with the King of Cups, but also emotionally mature through this journey. So you're coming up on your money, you're coming up on your resources, on your abundance, and in that process, you're attaining this maturity within yourself that is happening through this temperance process of balancing the dark and the light, the fire and the earth. It's going to be very, very beautiful for you, very, very rewarding. If again, this reading resonates for you and you're going through this temperance moment where you're trying to like, kind of like align and temper your, like those moments of feeling all the fire and like you should be doing more and just trying to take action on every idea, in that moment where you're kind of like not feeling like you feel like things are evolving and shifting into something else, and like maybe you know, it's just a lot of change. That's why they call them growing pains, because growing hurts. Okay, like if you think about babies growing their teeth, if you think about you know, just like teenagers, you know, kind of like losing their voice and just going through those weird body you know, changes. That's kind of what this energy feels like. So it feels a little uncomfortable maybe at times to like be in your own skin as you're shifting, not being who you used to be, but also not entirely embodying who you're trying to become, just being in that in between. It's like a very fluid, watery state. But again, it's all good. It's all good because you're reaching queen status in that process. And again, also, I do have to point this out. You have a King of Cups and a Queen of Pentacles. I have been talking about this specific connection between two givers, okay? And so again, I'm not necessarily picking up love, but this might be for some of you out there, which can be like a platonic or a romantic partnership, or maybe even a business partnership. But I do have a king and a queen here, okay? And like I said, the water in this dynamic, like water and fire, like let's say we had the Queen of Wands, the King of Wands, and then the Queen of Cups. Like the water can really put out the fire, and the fire can also boil and evaporate the water. But when it comes to earth and water, like this specific combination of elements, not to say that these are the zodiac signs, but maybe they embody more of these qualities. What happens when the water nourishes the earth? You know, the earth grows trees and plants and just so much greenery, so much abundance. Like these two elements work very well together. They create life, you know, whereas other elements together might create a little bit of friction or just more room for improvement and more lessons for growth. But this specific combination is a very healthy combination. So again, I do have to point out this dynamic for some of you, whether this is a specific like work partnership or a family member or a friendship or maybe a platonic or romantic relationship. There is a king and a queen here. And again, it doesn't necessarily have to be that they're an earth sign and a water sign, but just embodying these qualities leads to a very abundant kind of relationship. And so, yes. So that might be in the cards for some of you guys if you're looking for that kind of partnership. If not, it's the same temperance process that happens within you, right? Like your feminine and your masculine energy, having that ebb and flow, that natural, you know, kind of like it transmutes the energy, and it always brings back the fruits of your labor, you know? And so some elements just work very well together. And so you have really good cards here, Pisces. So again, whatever this manifestation, whatever this process was for you, like your test right now is the temperance, okay? Because everything, like you already have all the cards on the table. Like you are going from the Two of Pentacles to the Five of Pentacles to Queen of Pentacles. Like that's a major jump. So if you're experiencing some of this scattered or uneasy or just kind of like all this shifting that is happening energetically, and you can't necessarily like put a finger on it because so much is shifting underneath the surface, is like, don't worry, because that shifting is leading you into queen status, okay? And so Spirit's advice is the Two of Cups, the Devil, the Nine of Wands, and the Death and the Rebirth, okay? And so this is a really interesting combination because, again, what I'm seeing here with the Temperance and the Two of Cups is there is a beautiful merging of these energies, right? Of the Queen of Pentacles and the King of Cups. There's a beautiful shifting in energies, right? How these elements are nourishing each other. And so there is some kind of dynamic energy that is changing within you and changing things around you and without you. That again, if you're feeling this kind of energy that is happening beneath the surface, is like, just trust and lean into the process because it's coming into something very beautiful here. And so again, I do have to bring this up, okay? I don't want to make this about a love reading because I don't necessarily feel that, but it could be for some of you that there is a partnership coming in or a friendship, okay, between a Queen of Pentacles and a King of Cups, okay? And again, it can be a business partnership where you're getting a new job or you're meeting new people, or maybe you go to a mastermind or something, or it could be more along the lines of, you know, maybe you meet a new person, or there is just, again, I'm picking this up as either one of two, okay? With the Two of Cups, two energies coming together, a Queen of Pentacles and a King of Cups, okay? Forming a very healthy union, whether it's business related or along the lines of relationships and all of that. Or, again, with the Temperance coming in as well, all right? Some kind of like merging between your feminine and masculine energy within you, okay? That is leading to something very prosperous. And so the Two of Cups is coming in, signaling that it could be that, but it could also just be within you, like your own feminine and masculine energy. But whatever this union is, whatever this connection is what's going to push you from this shifting process, the Seven of Cups, right into Queen status. And so the advice cards, okay, so the Devil, the Nine of Wands, and the Death and the Rebirth, okay? Some toxic... All right, so this is like the last stand card, okay? Like the Nine of Wands is the wounded warrior. So there's some kind of like last stand, like this final push that you have to push through to break free from any kind of negativity, any kind of restraints, any kind of toxic cycles or negative spirals. Whatever this Devil is for you is like this final last stand, this final push to break through and break free from whatever this negative resistance is on you, okay? Because what I'm getting here is like you have a lot of good cards on the table, okay? Yes, you're experiencing some kind of shifting, you're experiencing some kind of transition at this time, and part of what's making it a little bit harder is whatever this toxicity is. So if there's something that you comfort yourself with, that you know is kind of toxic and you know it has to go, but maybe it makes you feel comfortable through these periods of darkness, because again, this is the wounded warrior, okay? It's that last stand before the sunrise, okay? And so it's like one final push for you to break free from this Devil energy, whatever that is for you. And then boom, a full cycle of death and rebirth happens that allows this union to happen, the Two of Cups, whether it's your own feminine masculine energy or whether it's a new dynamic coming into the picture, okay? But everything looks good. So again, if you're experiencing this shifting, is because you're going straight into Queen of Pentacles status. But again, your job as the Temperance is to continue pacing yourself, okay? Because you're going to feel the fire at times, and at times you're going to feel the water, and sometimes that's going to evaporate everything, and it's going to make things a little bit foggy. But the key here is that there's some kind of shifting, there's some kind of come up that is happening within your energy, so trust it. You might not be able to put a finger on it just yet, but continue to lean into the passion, continue to lean into what you're interested in, because that's the right direction, okay? So it might not all be on paper just yet, it might not all be super concrete or clear and concise, but it's in that process, okay? And in that shifting, again, we go from Two of Pentacles to Five of Pentacles to Queen of Pentacles, okay? So there's a major shift in the material realm that is going to attribute to your abundance. So whether this is a new job, a new hobby, a new partnership, whatever this is, there's a wonderful union coming in. There is a final push to break free from this negativity, the Devil, that is going to, you know, cause this death and rebirth cycle. But at the end of the day, you're coming into Queen status, and it's going to be something that you can show for. So again, whatever this is for you, Pisces, it looks really healthy. It looks really good. Just trust the process and continue leaning into your interests, into your passions. Even if it's not all on paper, even if you don't have all the numbers, even if it's not fully adding up, as you continue to lean into that direction of what you're truly passionate about, what you're truly interested about, it continues to open other avenues for this to unfold for you. Because again, this is a very hard, it's a difficult energy to kind of get out of, okay? This Five of Pentacles, because it's so scared to lose what you, it's like you're not happy where you are, right? And you want more out of life, but you're so scared to lose what you already have that it's like you just feel like you're in this dark room. Again, the key is right there. The keyhole is right there. She can unlock that door anytime. But it just feels like if she kind of moves too fast or if she does something too quickly, like she might end up losing what she already has, you know, and it just creates that resistance in the energy. But again, it's a very beautiful evolution, because if you've been doing the work, again, with the Temperance, you're going from the Two to the Five to the Queen, all right? So very beautiful transition, Pisces. That's all I have for this reading. If you would like a private reading, the information's in the description box below. But for now, that's all I have, Pisces. Blessings. Take care.